you talked about cadence. This is where you're talking about stroke rate, right? Do you want to just explain that a little bit more?
Let me explain on my own body. If I have a long distance stroke, and the DPS usually is, I do on a long distance, I can still do 110, 115 on 100 meter, 1 minute 15 seconds. Let's put it that way. And I have almost catch up. My DPS is 180, 1 meter 80 centimeters. So every stroke I do, I pull back water from front to the end, 1 meter 80 centimeters. When I enlarge the cadence to go higher, and also I would have on a 25 meter, I would like have 9 strokes, 10 strokes or something, or 11 strokes max. If I enlarge the cadence, then obviously DPS goes down, so it goes to 160, 140, but obviously the strokes go up on 25 meter to 14, 15 strokes per 25 meter, and then I enhance the cadence. Now, you need to see what gets me more tired or less, and that would be my explanation to it. Am I right with it?
Yeah, that's perfect. That was good. I'm going to just say another thing. So just go into a little bit more detail again about what you mean by DPS and distance per stroke.
So distance per stroke, if you have that, then obviously the distance which your hand pushes water back until it. So from the entry to the exit, and we're not going to cheat. We want to enter up front, and when your hand starts, or your fingers start to face down towards the end, and you always have water on your arms until you exit the water. That is the distance, and obviously per stroke, and then that will be distance per stroke. But
now, some people, hold on, sorry, just to interrupt.
Yeah.
Some people also ask how we increase and improve our distance per stroke. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, okay. How can you improve distance per stroke? Obviously, there are several exercises. Obviously, you want to do the technical things. Obviously, you want to try to get a high elbow catch or early catch, like you want to catch the water first, so the technical part of it. And also, you want to try to enhance the push off on the backside. So how do you train it? Obviously through drills where you have one arm and try to do it. You can try it on land. Rubber bands are usually good where you try to pull against it. I have a couple of videos of that on my Instagram account. So you have the dry land stuff, but you also have the chance of trying to trick yourself into doing it. So you do 25 meter or 50 meter and you count the strokes. And you also look at the time. So let's say you do a kind of 60-70% of exertion level, or how fast you want to do. You take like 60-70% and you swim and you time yourself and you count the strokes which you have. And then you do another 50 afterwards. You keep the time, but you reduce the stroke rate by, you reduce the strokes which you have for the 50 meter by 2 strokes.
That's right. And you know, for the viewers watching this is something called Zwolf. Your Zwolf score.
Exactly, yeah. So time plus the strokes you have. And then the next time you do it again, and you try to again eliminate 2 strokes. So your Zwolf goes down, so the time stays the same, but your strokes get less and less and less. And this is also
cheat by kicking harder and faster.
Yeah,
you maintain the same kick, you maintain the same push off. It's really focusing on that stroke, isn't it?
Exactly, and that is how you can do it. I mean, you have these kind of things. So you have the technical rules where you try to look on high elbow catch and the push phase, like the push phase afterwards. Then you have the dry land exercise with the rubber band in front of it and pull against it and imitate the whole stroke from front to the end. And then the third thing is the thing with decreasing the Zwolf, but only on the stroke side, not on the time side. You keep the time, you keep the kicks like they are. You don't try to kick for long or underwater. You then reduce the strokes which you have to do, and so you make your own style more efficient. You can also embed that in a normal interval series you have in a training, but this is how you would do it.
Did you see last week how I challenged myself against the Canadian goat, Brent Hayden's Wolf score?
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. I saw that.
You need to do that.
I certainly have it. I certainly have done a lot of these videos, but yes, I have to do that. But actually, if we want to really challenge each other, and I would be curious with our age and where we are now, I'm very curious who would do better. We set a time which everyone needs to go, and then it would be actually challenging. We do it. We walk the Canadian goat. Okay, Brent Hayden, if you hear this, you are the Canadian goat for athletics. Yeah. Okay, you are. I mean,
oh, sorry, second behind my wife.
Okay. We have that on recording. No, again. So what we need to keep is. We need to keep the same time. Each of us needs to save the same time. And who does the least strokes? Like who does less? Or who does... We are not allowed to... And then we need this. This should be the challenge.
Yeah, we love these stupid challenges though. But do you know what? Like, I was quite happy with how I performed. So, and I put this in the caption as well on our scale swimming. He is, I think, 6'5".
Yeah.
Tall, so 190 something centimeters.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm 5'8", which is like 100 and I don't even know what I am. I don't know what that is in centimeters. I can't remember. I'm a lot shorter. I'm literally about like almost a foot shorter. So my reach is way smaller than his. So to be able to get within a stroke and a half, 2 strokes of his, and I hit the same time. And I am nowhere near anywhere as a talented swimmer as what he is. So, you know, these are the things that I like to challenge myself doing. Like, I look up to people literally because I'm short like you. You're about the same height, man. What are you?
I'm 177. So, but the thing is, never like I was. This is also something which I was always underestimated with, but height and. The longer you look in the water, the more efficient you can swim. Yeah. And I was always known as I tried to make it most efficient for me. And I don't care if the person next to me, because all my life, even my time when I used to be a professional, all my time, they were all taller than I am. I'm 177 is nothing. Most of the people are 180, 185, 190, even 2 meters. The average, I think, is 185. Average person. So they're all much higher, taller than us two. But you can still beat them. Because
we got not as much resistance in the water.
Well, that's the other thing, but also you need to get that to work, right? You need to somehow. It's the same comparison between Lionel Messi, who is a short guy, and then you have Ibrahimovic and Cristiano Ronaldo next to it, which are rather tall people. I think both of them had taller than him, right? And so, but they're equally good. Not them saying that I have as many medals from worlds that the Canadian goat Brent Hayden, but yeah, that's another story. Anyhow, but we can still challenge them. I like a good challenge. But I like that, actually. I like that. So
you also said us that maybe are not so tall as other swimmers, we can make ourselves look longer in the pool because of our efficiency. Conversely, there are tall people who they get in the pool, and because their stroke and form is poor, they actually look small in the water. Like, it's just funny. Like, I quite often see, like, oh, that person swimming towards me, if I'm watching them, if they're new to the session and I'm coaching them, like, they look really small when they're swimming at you. Like, their limbs don't look as though they're long and they're lengthy stroke. Yeah. And then they stand up and they're like, oh, they're really tall. Like, you're not utilizing your limbs. You need to increase your distance per stroke. You need to look longer and swim more efficiently in the water. And the other thing, and the reason why some people do that, because they've got low distance per stroke, what they do, as soon as they enter the water, they start their catch and pull straight away. There's no hang glide. There's no reaching out forward to get, what did you say, 180 for you for your distance per stroke. You know, they're as soon as they enter, their mind's saying, "I've got to pull," and they're not reaching out. They're not stretching their stroke out. They're not increasing their distance throw that way.
Completely agree. No, completely agree. I mean, it's usually the thing which I say to people which I train with or which are not as good triathletes or even now I had a CrossFit world champion with me swimming in a pool, and I mean, he crossed one of the bigger legs. I mean, it was 24 Ks with his technique, but he did it with his sheer muscle mass and what he can do. But when I met him, I mean, his distance per stroke is at the moment at 120 or even not even. And then you look at this, and then you usually say that, look, I'm maybe shorter than you are, but my distance per stroke is 180 and you do 120. So that is 60 centimeters per strokes, which you don't pull as much as I do. You might do the movement, but it's not efficient. And so this is the huge difference between me being that fast or having that speed and them there. If you would enhance the DPS, which is one of my favorite things to go to, then you would also be as fast. I think that obviously you need to be able to maintain that distance per stroke for longer, because usually when people get tired, the stroke gets shorter, and then that's another downfall, and you will never get back to it. If once you lost some distance on the stroke, you won't get it back with your muscles. They start to lock up, and then you're gone, right? Once you lose that. But that is usually what I point out. Obviously, there is other technical things and body and how you lie in water. You can all that. But one factor which people already get closer to what I do is enlarge the distance per stroke and maybe the cadence and that. But this is the only way. And how do you get there? Try to catch the water as far up front as possible with turning out your shoulder and reaching to the front, and use your body for it, the whole body for it, and then push it off. One problem, either they don't have an early catch or high elbow catch or long arm catch, like the straight arm catch, they don't have it early enough. The second problem is they leave the water too early at their hips, just above the hips or just below it. No, it needs to be really properly below it, and use your shoulder rotation for it. That's the only thing. Some of them don't turn enough. That's basically it.
Yeah, you got to continue your pull or your push past your thigh.
Exactly.
You've got to finish the stroke off right back there. So yeah, that's a good point as well.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, and now we touched a couple of topics today. That's good. Look at us. Very efficient. We need to get together again. No, we need to get together again. But I think we have a couple of really nice topics which we touched at. And here, this is Alex from Scale Swimming. Follow, like, share. They're on YouTube. They're on Instagram. They're on wherever you are. Like, they're everywhere. Like I'm TikTok. So follow, like, share our videos. Give us some love, and stay tuned until the next episode of Let's Talk Swimming.
See you, mate.
Cheers.